Valorant is under a lot of scrutiny at the moment because their anti-cheat software called Vanguard has got, should we say, a little bit too much access to all your private information and has actually the top tier access to your computer as a whole. So they've released a statement today which is going to go into more detail explaining the reasons behind their choices of their Vanguard system, and we're going to break down exactly what this means for us who are actually allowing them access. But before we do, if you do enjoy this video or you find it useful, consider hitting subscribe. I'm really close to 7,500 of you, and we're trying to hit 10k by June, so that'd be really useful if you could do that. But let's just jump straight into it. So Valorant Vanguard is a system which comes with Valorant as soon as you install it, and it's basically, the whole point behind it is it stops and detects people that are hacking in the game. So the purpose behind Vanguard was to completely keep the player base and their community safe. But the issue is people are saying that this has gone way too far. When you have your computer running, before you're even running Valorant, this system, their anti-cheat software, is constantly running in the background. Now, even if you uninstalled Valorant, it would still be running. And they didn't make this clear enough to the player base right from the start. And people are uninstalling it. Ninja's refusing to play it. Dr. Disrespect has recently come out saying that he's already not going to be playing the game because he can't see it going anywhere. And it's just causing a bit of a stir. So Riot eventually have just come out with a new release explaining in more detail exactly what Riot's Vanguard is and what we're going to get from it. They put, over the last week, we've noticed a lot of conversation about Vanguard and its kernel mode driver. Our privacy and security team is here to share more about the new anti-cheat system and the steps we're taking to protect your data. Learn more here. So as soon as I load it up, it comes out with a message. Straight away, they're obviously just trying to cover their backs in this post. It says, a message about Vanguard from our security and privacy teams. Now, I'm going to read little highlights and snippets of it, and you guys can kind of form your own opinion, and we'll talk about it after. So they put, we're Chris Himes, who's the Data Protection Officer and Chief Information Security Officer, and another guy called Mark Hillick, who's the Director of Security. And then there's a few other people. We're not going to go into who they are. Basically, the head people who have basically programmed this and put it into the game. We've discussed Vanguard in the past, but over the last week, there's been a lot of conversation about what Vanguard is, and in particular, the kernel mode driver. The biggest concern we're hearing is about the security of the driver and your privacy. Our buddy Paul Riot Arkham Chamberlain has been addressing questions where he can. For the group, as the most part, are paranoid rioters, we wanted to give Riot Arkham a little backup and give you some more insight into how Vanguard was built and the security privacy which is at its heart. So I'm going to skip over some things that they've said because a lot of it is just a load of rubbish. Basically, the points are the guard for Riot's players' focus-based culture, the feedback given from the audience focus, and the centered around providing provisions over your security. And a little background on Riot security. Okay, so they're basically saying the reason why they've put these in place is because they want to create a Riot culture. Now, you do see this a lot with League of Legends, for example. There's a definite culture around the game. It's not just a popular game. There's definitely so much more to it than that. But the philosophy over it, which I find a little bit funny and a little bit too heavy-worded in places, Riot's committed to achieving the highest competitive integrity in our games. We want you to play in a world where you never have to doubt your abilities of your opponents. The battle against cheats is constantly something they're working on. If anti-cheat software is only run in user mode, its capabilities would be compromised by a cheat running at a higher privilege level. For example, some more advanced cheating communities have used direct memory or DMA to rebroadcast memory to a separate computer for later processing. Vanguard is a solution that will help us achieve the vision of competitive integrity whilst enabling us to continuously adapt our arsenal in the war against cheaters. Vanguard does not collect or process any personal information beyond what current League of Legends anti-cheat solution does. Riot does not want to know any more about your machine or what is necessary to maintain high integrity of the game. So basically they're saying this is something that's ran on League of Legends, which I'll be honest, I don't think a lot of League of Legends players knew about until this post has come out. So I'm sure that's not going to rock the boat too much. And I just don't really agree with the fact that they're saying they're giving them the highest permission of your machine so they can tackle cheaters. I mean, it's a really extreme thing to do. And in all honesty, I think it's illegal to actually hide this from people because they're having full access of all of our privacies, all of our information, all of our documents, our credit cards. Literally every single thing that we've ever done on our machines is in their hands. And honestly, I don't want to see another Facebook incident where they're selling it to the government or they're selling information to third parties, because that again is an abuse of our rights. So what do you guys think of everything that's going on? I personally think that if you are considering downloading the game, I would really consider why you want to download it, and more importantly, what you are willing to put on the line for playing the game. It's all right, you go in, I don't have anything to hide, I'm not up to anything dodgy, but it's not that. It's the fact they have all access over your credit cards, over your bank information, your parents' bank information, details of where you live. There's nothing that is going to be secretive. And I know that this isn't what you call a malware, because malware is something that is intended for malicious intent. This is obviously for our protection over the game. But I just don't think it's a good enough reason for them to willingly take our information. So let me know what you guys think about this whole situation down in the comments. Do you think their response to this was a good idea? I personally don't think it was a good idea, because if anything, they've outed another game, which is going to get uninstalled by myself. So anyway, guys, I hope you have enjoyed this video. I will see you at 7 p.m. in my next video. For now, it's been your boy Bitter. Much love, everyone, and peace.